I'm Alix Klineman, and you're watching The American Athlete. You know, I think just growing up in Manhattan Beach, volleyball is such a big sport that I was just bound to run into the sport at some point, and it turned out that I loved it. I started beach volleyball, I think even my first camp was at age 6. I was really tall, so my parents knew that, you know, I was probably going to end up doing something with sports. But I honestly believe that I only started playing volleyball because of my brother, and he got into it first, and then I ended up going to one of his camps because they saw me when they were dropping my brother off and they thought I was old enough. And then my brother and I would, you know, go outside and pepper every day. I lived on a walk street growing up, and so we would just be bumping back and forth every day, and we enjoyed it a lot together, but it usually ended up in a fight. It usually ended up with one of us storming in. It was usually me, and it was, "Come on, Max hit the ball too hard again," or whatever. You know, he nailed me in the face. I played like a 12 and under team and a 13 and under team, and by no means did I feel like I was one of the best players, but I was really tall. And then when it was time to try out for 14, somebody suggested that I try out for a 16 and under team. And I felt really uncomfortable. I was pretty shy as a kid too, and I was like, I'm not good enough, you know, this isn't where I'm supposed to be, but I went to the tryout anyways, and I ended up making the team. So as a 13-year-old, I played on a 16 and under team. And so that was the first time that I kind of got pushed ahead of my peers. I remember I'd been struggling a little bit on the national team because I felt a lot of pressure on the national team, and I felt like I didn't really have my role yet, and I was always fighting to, you know, make rosters. And I just remember going through a period where volleyball wasn't quite as fun for me. So I remember going over for my first season abroad, and I said, you know what, if they don't like me, they can send me home, they can fire me. I'm just gonna play the way I wanna play. It was actually a really good lesson for me because I remember just being really embraced by my team for being unapologetically myself. So I really started my professional career just being really true to myself and playing my way and my style, and it ended up being a great fit. Even now, I think one of the things that I love about our team on the beach is just that we're all really ourselves and we embrace each other just for who we are. I switched a little bit at the beginning. I was new. You know, I was just trying to get the best partner I could. As I got better partners. But now that I'm with April, I mean, there's really no plans to change because she's the best partner out there. So I feel like I kind of hit the jackpot with that one. When I first started talking about playing with her, it wasn't even a thought in my mind like, do we gel? It's like, I want to play with her because she's the best player and I will make it work. You know, it was kind of one of those things because I really wanted to get to the Olympics, and I knew that she was my best shot of getting there. And then as we started playing together and training together more, we actually realized like we are really compatible, and the way we approach training is really similar, and the way our intensities are really similar. So it makes it a lot more enjoyable. So I hate warming up because I feel like it's just a lot of anticipation to playing, but I love playing. So in a perfect world, I would just cut out warm-ups even though it's totally necessary. I used to be healthier, so I could just run onto the court with a bagel in my mouth and start playing like 2 minutes later. And now as I get older and my body is getting older, my warm-ups are getting longer, and it takes us about a full hour to warm up for a match where sometimes we don't even play a single hour. But I like getting to the point where I'm playing the whole lead up of eating and talking about everything and warming up and getting the jitters out and all that. That's the part that it's not my favorite. Injuries are honestly the only thing that has really taken out the joy of volleyball for me. I love going onto the court and feeling like I'm giving everything I have, and injuries are one of those things that make you feel like you can't play your best no matter how much time you've put in. And so it's a good reminder, and it's a good motivation to really, stay on top of all my injuries and do my rehab every day and make sure I'm being preventative and really just taking care of my body, because it doesn't allow me to enjoy the game the same way if I'm injured. I don't have any kind of medium speed when it comes to playing, so I can't even really play with my friends because I either want to be completely intense and crush somebody, or if I don't try hard, then I'm not very good and then I don't think it's fun. So I pretty much just leave volleyball for the most competitive levels, and then when I'm not playing, I just like to decompress and get away from it. And I have a lot of other interests, so I think I play my best when I get away from it, when I spend a whole day in the gym, but then I get to go home and I get to not think about volleyball or talk about volleyball for a few hours. I think that's where I feel happiest. I'm very aware that there's so many things that I need to get better at in such a short amount of time that I've really prioritized, like, okay, this skill I need to get better at, this skill I need to get better at. This is the aspect of my fitness that I need to get better at, because everything is so new for me, and at the same time, it's not an excuse, so I have to figure out how can I still be the best in 10 months, even though I don't have years and years and years of experience. You know, we won our first tournament ever together, actually, so that really put a target on our back. But then anytime that you're successful, teams want to beat you and take you down. And April always talks about it. She says, I swear people play better against us than against other teams. But I think it's a good thing, because we want to be as tested as we can when we get into the Olympics. And the only way to do that is to play teams when they're playing their best. We're going to end up playing teams so many times before we play them in the Olympics. So every time it's just a chance to learn about them and figure out, okay, we tried this against them and it worked, or it didn't work, and then you go back to the drawing board and we study some more. And so we're simultaneously being in the moment while also thinking about the bigger picture. You know, like, I don't want to get ahead of myself. We need to qualify first, but at the same time, we want to feel like we're doing everything we can to show up to that stage and have a chance to be #1 in the world.